topping our lineup here on The Now. It is grilling season, but you may want to rethink your metal grill brush. Why doctors are calling to get those brushes banned. And retired school buses are making a new type of delivery over the summer, how they're helping kids get a service they don't get now that school's out. Plus, car makers discounting some models, dealers offering big discounts on them. But these deals aren't for everybody. What you should consider first, that's ahead here on The Now.
All right, thank you, Chris. I'm Amanda Starantino. This is The Now Indy on RTV6. Rainbow flags are on full display as the LGBTQ community celebrates Indy Pride this weekend. Our Aaron Lish shows us the changes you can expect heading into the busy celebration and takes us back to the roots of this event.
It was the early 90s at Monument Circle, and the LGBTQ community was out for Indy Pride.
We deserve the right to have our own celebration because we are what we are, you know, and we have nothing to hide.
There was pushback by protesters.
Down with the gays! Down with the gays!
But those at Pride hoped for a change.
We need to stand up, and we have rights, we have love, just like anybody else.
You know, I'd like to walk down the street just like this and not think twice about it.
Someone says the Gay Pride Festival at the Circle, people are going to say no big deal. Because in 10 years, that'll way it'll be.
And now, almost 30 years later, Chris Handberg of Indy Pride thanks the early Pride goers for the acceptance they have today.
So all of the visibility was made possible by very brave people who took a lot of negativity, a lot of oppression, and a lot of abuse for being who they are.
30,000 people are expected for the festival at Military Park. And for those going this year, it's tobacco-free and no coolers are allowed. There will be hydration stations with free water. The parade starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and the festival begins 1 hour later.
It's the one time of year we can be ourselves without having to explain ourselves, without having to educate people that we're just like you, and we can just be with our community and not have to apologize so we can celebrate who we are.
The parade is free, where you'll see more than 140 floats, cars, and walking groups. You can head to the festival for $5, where you can help celebrate Indy Pride. Aaron Lish, RTV6.
Thanks, Aaron. And with the chance of rain, organizers say to follow Indy Pride on social media for any updates. Kyle.
And Amanda, we do have that chance for rain in the weekend forecast, but I think it's going to be kind of scattered. So we are going to have some dry time. Looking out west of the city right now at the Indianapolis International Airport. No flight problems there as far as the weather goes for us this evening, as all the rain is well off to the south. In fact, quite a bit of sunshine for you around Lafayette, Kokomo, into Tipton, even the north side of Indianapolis, but you start to see that cloud shield here. That's spiraling back toward the northwest, and we will have mostly cloudy skies as we go into the weekend ahead. Right now, 82 degrees in downtown, Kokomo at 80, 81 in Bloomington. We've had that east breeze all day long, and that will continue right on into the day tomorrow. Going to be heading off downtown to the Bankers Life Fieldhouse there. We've got the Indiana Fever in action this evening, and our temperatures will be in the middle 70s for you by 8 o'clock this evening, lower 70s at 10. Still dry and mostly cloudy at that point. We are going to see those weekend rain chances, though. We'll time those out for you. We'll also talk about a cool down coming over the next several days. Chris.
Tariffs against Mexico are on track to start Monday, and that's even with talks happening today between the U.S. and Mexican leaders in D.C. Today, the White House press secretary saying that they have made progress in those talks over immigration, but the U.S.'s position is still the same. They're moving forward with the 5% tariffs on Mexican products. Nearly 2 weeks since a tornado hit Salina, Ohio, recovery is really just beginning. That tornado killed one person. It badly damaged dozens of homes. Our Chris Welch went there and met a woman who was just thankful that she made it out alive.
It's been almost 2 weeks since a tornado ripped through Salina, Ohio.
It's just tough.
The sounds of crews clearing fallen trees and repairing rooftops echo through the neighborhood.
My husband built our house with his own hands.
But at Jenny Kahn's lot, it's the sound of more destruction.
To think that it's gone in like a minute's time, that's probably the biggest thing.
Their sounds not unlike what she heard that night when she and her family huddled in the basement.
Glass, I heard things moving, and then I heard our garage, like it was just a big crunch.
When it ended, they fled to a neighbor. It wasn't until sunrise when they could truly see the extent of the damage.
The whole back, like my living room, kitchen walls were blown out. There was no roof at all.
Now those walls, the roof, and 13 years of memories loaded into dumpsters.
It is. It's tough.
They plan to rebuild the same house on the old foundation. It'll take time, but she takes comfort in what matters.
We were alive. We were alive.
Her message today is simple.
You are not going to outrun Mother Nature. You can't. I mean, would have I ever guessed this would have happened to us? Never, never.
Reporting in Salina, Ohio.
Never, but it did.
I'm Chris Welch.
Such powerful images. Chris, thank you. And still ahead in our lineup today here on The Now, it is, of course, grilling season, but we have a story that may make you rethink your metal grill brush. A woman who got one of those bristles stuck in her throat, and the call is now to get those brushes banned.
Visit batteriesplus.com.
Welcome back to The Now, Indy on RTV6. Tomorrow, the families of Abby Williams and Libby German will make another plea for someone to come forward with information about who killed the girls. The families will attend a major national convention with the hope the exposure sheds more light on the Delphi case. The girls' families and Indiana State Police Sergeant Kim Riley will talk about the murder investigation at CrimeCon in New Orleans. HLN's Susan Hendricks will moderate the discussion tomorrow at 4 p.m. 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German were killed along the Monon High Bridge in February of 2017. State Police Superintendent Doug Carter says he still believes the killer lives in or used to live or work in Delphi, and that was not the only time this man was on that bridge. This is the new sketch released of the prime suspect in that case, and police are calling it the primary sketch. Here's how you can provide a tip involving this case. The email address is on your screen. Police say that's the best way to connect. You can also call the tip line and leave a message. That number is 844-459-5786.
Let's start this Now newsfeed with a close call between U.S. and Russian warships. The two came really close to each other in the East China Sea. Now both sides are accusing each other of being unsafe. The U.S. says a helicopter was getting to land on board when the Russians sped up and approached from behind. Authorities say a man who wanted to blow up a bomb in Times Square has been arrested. The FBI and NYPD says the suspect talked about wanting to buy guns and grenades to kill people and members of the government in New York. He was taken into custody in a sting. Now, experts say there is not enough progress in stopping sexually transmitted infections worldwide. The World Health Organization says about 1 in 25 people has at least one curable STI. That does add up to about 1 million new cases a day in people 15 to 49 years old. Well, plenty of us fire up the grill as we do head into summer, but boy, do we have an important warning for you before you fire up that grill again. Well, be careful about what you use to clean your grill. What you're looking at here, a woman had to have surgery to remove a metal bristle from the back of her throat. She apparently ate it after it fell off a brush and it stuck to a hot dog. Yeah, let's get to Annie Taylor here with what you may want to use instead.
Chris, doctors as well as the CDC and the American Medical Association are calling for a ban on grill brushes that are made with metal wire. Many people have ended up in the ER after getting wire stuck in either their throat, stomach, and sometimes even their intestines. Consumer Reports as well as doctors recommend that you use other products to clean your grill. Grill stones or scrapers are a good alternative, and there's also liquid grill cleaners that can be used. But if you don't want to spend some extra money, you can simply crumble up some aluminum foil and use that to brush food particles right off the grill grate, and that is what I do. And if you decide to stick with that wire grill brush, though, check the brush before using it, and if it's worn or even warped, it's time to toss it out, people.
Hey, good information, Annie. Thank you. Let's get back to our lineup. And retired school buses are making a new type of delivery over the summer. How they're helping kids get a service that they don't get now that school's out.
Bulk clearance items this Friday and Saturday.
The tragic story of the death of a country music singer's child is something that really could happen to anybody. Granger Smith and his wife say their 3-year-old son unexpectedly passed away after an accidental drowning at home. They didn't say exactly how the accident happened, but we are learning that this is becoming more common. New numbers from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission show that this time of year is the most common for child drownings. The amount has slightly increased over the last few years, and it just continues to be a top cause of unintentional deaths in children among the ages of 1 to 4. Now, near drowning send about 6,600 kids to the ER every year, and most of them do happen at home pools, yet spas are also a danger. Now, less than a month ago, the American Academy of Pediatrics released a new PSA with Olympic skier Bodie Miller and his wife, their daughter Emmy, drowning last June.
Emmy drowned in a pool at a neighbor's house. She slipped out the back door, and in the space of minutes, she was gone.
Swim safety experts say that families should have fencing all around pools and spas that also lock. Also very important, have a designated person to watch the kids in the water at all times, a person who's not reading the book, not scrolling through their cell phone, eyes on the water. They also encourage taking CPR classes and teaching children how to swim, and they say that kids can start as young as before the age of 1.
We can start that as young as 6 months. And what we do is we teach children that if they fall into the pool, the first thing we want them to do is try to turn around and grab the wall that they fell off of. If that doesn't work, then we do teach them to roll over onto their back and float until help arrives. And that, as they progress through the levels, we do eventually teach them to roll over onto their back, float on their back, and kick until their head hits the wall. That way they've found safety and they don't even have to wait for someone to help them. They can grab the wall and climb out.
Maggie Mueller from Seals Swim School told us that swimming lessons can reduce the chances of a young child drowning by as much as 88%. Women are less likely than men to receive CPR in an emergency situation. And one theory that's behind that is people are nervous about touching a woman's chest. Well, now there are CPR dummies designed to look like a woman. People can practice to feel comfortable. This is actually called a womannequin. Yeah, the creators hope that more CPR trainees will use the mannequin in certification classes.
Thank you, Chris. There's a new feature on the Monon Trail in downtown Carmel. The city installed a bicycle and pedestrian counter with a display tracking the number of bikes and pedestrians crossing its path. It's located just south of Main Street on the Monon Greenway. Carmel city officials say the data collected from this counter will be used to determine future actions to help ease congestion and plan for future improvements. You can also see in real time just how many people are using the Monon. Indiana University now owns the fastest university-owned supercomputer in the nation to support its advanced research in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and medical research. The new system is called Big Red 200, and it will become fully operational on January 20th of 2020. So how fast is this supercomputer? It would take everyone in the state of Indiana more than 28 years performing one calculation per second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, to perform the same number of calculations that the Big Red 200 can do in just 1 second. Now, researchers at IU Health and the IU School of Medicine will be just a couple of the groups using IU's Big Red 200 supercomputer. They hope to discover insights for quality care in our country's healthcare system. IU says the supercomputer could help enable breakthrough discoveries in many areas, including neurodegeneration and the study of Alzheimer's disease.
Exciting stuff. Lots of numbers there.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot going on. All right. Well, as we look out over downtown, we're going to have a lot going on this weekend. You notice the grass is nice and green after all the rain that we've had, and traffic really not too bad there on the west side of the city for this Friday evening. We are getting into the weekend. It's been a little bit breezy. That east wind pretty persistent today, about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and that is adding to some of the waves out there on Morse Reservoir this afternoon. I've seen a few boats out there, so if you are going to be heading out on the waterways, that breeze will continue tomorrow. Use a little extra caution as you're out there. Our temperatures in the lower 80s right now. It's 82 in downtown Bloomington at 81 degrees, and overnight tonight we'll fall back into the middle 60s. Really pretty comfortable with partly cloudy skies. Stray showers storm really around Bedford and Seymour and areas south of there. But then as we get into tomorrow morning with TrueCast at 8 a.m., you notice we've got some scattered showers. This is not widespread though, so I think we're going to see a lot of dry time here, but a few showers will be moving moving through, an isolated rumble of thunder, but our severe weather threat for the weekend is very low here as we go into our Saturday evening as well. Temperatures tomorrow into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, and on Sunday, yeah, once again, we've got shower and thunderstorm chances in the forecast. I think a little more widespread heading into the second half of our weekend. Next 4 days of your forecast, there are those rain chances which will linger into Monday, about a 40% chance of rain there, and it brings down those temperatures a little bit. Highs in the 70s and actually into the lower 50s first thing Tuesday morning. Chris?
Let's start the news feed with some tough questions for Boeing and the FAA about when they knew about problems with the 737 MAX. Two lawmakers want answers about why it took more than a year to disclose a safety alert with that plane. The feature was supposed to let pilots know when the plane's nose is at the wrong angle. The 737 MAX has been grounded since March after 2 deadly crashes. The Air Force is allowing a Sikh airman to maintain a turban and beard during his service. He's the first active duty airman to receive this religious accommodation. Now, he joined the Air Force in 2016, but had to follow strict grooming and dress codes until now. Well, take a look at this. How would you like to swim in this? Pretty cool. Crews in London say they're putting this infinity pool on the top of a 55-story building, and they say what's unique about it is that it will be the first one with 360-degree views, which may leave you wondering, how exactly do you get in? They say that there will be a spiral staircase that will actually rotate and rise through the water to get in. Interested to see how that works out. Well, summer break, of course, is here for so many kids across the country. And while that does mean a break from class, for some students it means an end to the free and reduced school lunch that they depend on during the school year. Kamasi Aaron has the Creative Way of Colorado community is stepping up to meet students' needs.
It's prep time in the cafeteria.
Good. I feel good. I love it.
And Selena Sanchez is packing a little extra in her students' lunches.
I guess with a lot of love. When they're eating it, I know that they feel loved.
Today, that love is stretching from the cafeteria into this bus and out into the community.
Do you want to set it up this way?
The team at Aurora Public Schools is bringing free lunches to students where they are.
Hi!
Using this retired bus,
grab veggies and then there's grapes.
Turn mobile cafe.
Just giving the free meal and at least knowing that they're eating, and that's what's good. Hi, come around this way, guys.
1 in 6 or 13 million children in America live in households without consistent access to adequate food.
Grapes, we have carrot sticks, we have this, or we have a pizza.
And in this district, roughly 70% of students receive free or reduced lunch.
Are we missing some guys today?
In the past, they provided lunches at school cafeterias during the summer.
How about you? Come on, you want some carrots?
But found getting there was a challenge for many students. So they decided to transform these buses going out of service to bright mobile cafes.
And just create a spot where they could come see us, come eat for free, not have to go into a building, and just be more visible and take the food to them.
Now, 3 mobile cafes serve students lunch during the week at several locations.
Come around this way, honey.
And it's free to all children, whether they're students in the district or not.
It is a small gesture, but it has a huge impact.
It's a watermelon bus. Do you want carrots, honey?
Students seem pretty excited about the program.
Pizza. Can I have a hug?
And Ms. Sanchez, happy to provide it.
I guess you can say I have like over 600 kids that I can say that they're mine because I treat them all as if they were mine. It just makes me feel, I get so happy.
I'm Kamasi Aaron reporting.
That's really cool. Kamasi, thank you. And Walmart's following Amazon by offering deliveries right inside your home. Walmart's testing a service where a delivery person will actually put the food you order online into your fridge for you. They'll get in using smart technology and actually have a camera on so you can watch the delivery happen. Walmart plans to test that out this fall in 3 cities. Amazon has its Key Home Delivery service, which also brings deliveries inside your house, your garage, or even to the trunk of your car. Of course, a lot of people, they are getting out of town for vacation this time of year. And if you have a dog, finding dog sitting and boarding services, those are pretty common. But let's say you're a cat person, you're typically out of luck. That is changing, though. Last month, Rover launched these services for cats after noticing a need for it.
What they would do is they would log on to Rover, they would add a dog, and they would change the pet breed to cat or put in parentheses in capital letters, this is a cat.
Now, most cat owners say they just aren't comfortable leaving their pet alone for more than 2 days. And whether you're a cat or a dog owner, more than half of pet owners are willing to change their travel plans just to make sure their animal's taken care of. So now really is the time to book if you are planning to get away this summer. Pet boarding businesses say from now until Labor Day, they are very busy. All right, finally in our lineup today, car makers are discounting some models, dealers, they're offering big discounts on them, but these deals aren't for everybody. What you should consider first, that's next here on The Now.